Welcome! In the last episode, we may or may not have had a direct part in creating one of the worst leveling zones in MMO history. In this episode, we arrive at the Space Wizard Enclave on the planet Dantooine, which is basically a retirement home for geriatric old people who think that performing magic tricks will save them from a highly mechanized and militarized empire which seeks their destruction. I was informed by E-Girl that the leaders of this nut house will be able to try and help fix my wet dreams I have trouble with. The moment my crew and I land on this shithole, we stumble across someone who isn't supposed to be here. And no, that isn't because his skin is green, but it's because he isn't wearing the same tacky robes as everyone else. This is where he tells me that his employer's daughter has gone missing, and that he's offering a large reward for her return. My ears perk up with the sounds of credits, but I hope that she wasn't on Taris, otherwise those credits are going to be slightly difficult to get. We continue through the Enclave to meet this jackass in the guest quarters, who for some reason wants to gamble with me, to which he cleanly rinses me for 120 credits. I also meet with some cranky old man who just yells at me and tells me to leave. I finally meet up with the actual space wizards who tell me that they can feel the strength of the Force in me, for which I have to agree with them, but for the completely opposite reason. Being sent away from the council, Mr. Big Balls has yet another wet dream, this time involving two men, one of which is Johnny Sins, and honestly, I cannot blame him in the slightest. We return to the council the following morning, only to hear that E-Girl has tattled on us about the wet dream, and wants us to seek out the Johnny Sins sex chamber I dreamed about. But before I do this, I need to become a fully fledged Jedi, and even though my affinity to the dark side would otherwise normally be seen by these Jedi Masters as a threat, it's thanks to a little thing called Max Persuasion, which allows me to outright lie to every Jedi Master and get away with it without question. For our first of 3 tests, we need to recite the Jedi Code, and because I can't be fucked finding the pieces required to answer this naturally as the game intended, I use this handy little thing called the Wiki. I am then congratulated on my studies, knowing full well I cheated, which very much reminds me of high school. For the second task, I need to choose the color of my lightsaber crystal, and also choose my class, where I'm given 3 options, for which I'm just going to simplify. Blue is cool, yellow is cooler, and green is for pussies. Master Durak then takes me through a BuzzFeed personality quiz to see which color would suit me best, for which I get the yellow crystal, knowing full well that I am just going to immediately replace this with a red crystal as soon as I can, so I don't pay it too much mind. Returning back to the Jedi, I am given my final task. I need to go to a corrupted darkside grove outside the Enclave and find the source of its corruption. Leaving the Enclave, I find a collection of people waiting outside, wanting help from the Jedi for various issues. The first of which was a man asking if the Jedi Council was ready to hear his petition. Straight up lying on matters I have no knowledge of, I simply tell him to wander on in, to which he gladly does so. I fucking love this game. We then stumble across a very aggravated man who says Mandalorians have been stealing his property and killed his daughter, and that he wants my help to clear them out, to which I gladly accept for the low price of absolutely everything he has. For my final quest, I am told of a droid that has gone missing, and that the droid means a lot to this woman, as it was the final keepsake from her late husband, and that he was a personal assistance droid, whatever that's supposed to mean, so I accept the quest. We proceed into the hills of Dantooine, where we kill just a few of the native creatures, and a few not so native creatures, when we stumble across a Jedi asking us for assistance. He needs our help to solve a murder case, and point a finger at one of the 2 men on the scene. I then proceed to delete this whole bit because it was not funny and has been the source of my writer's block for the past 4 months, so I'll give you the spark notes. One of the suspects, Rickard, shot and killed the victim because he cucked him in business. Meanwhile, the other suspect, Handon, wanted to kill the victim just because he cucked him. I send both men to jail, and I'd say that's a job well done. Stumbling across the plains, I arrive where I actually need to be, at the source of the dark side energy in the area. What I was not told, however, was that the source of this dark side energy is actually a converted Jedi. After some top quality voice acting and both of my companions being stunned, I am left to confront this danger alone. However, at this point in the story, you should already know what the fuck is up. It is here where I scavenge 2 of the cool color lightsabers that will definitely come in handy later. Exploring around a bit, I find a person being attacked by Cath hounds, but after disposing of the hounds, I find that it is not a person and instead the personal droid I was requested to find earlier. It tells me that it is running away from its master because she has become obsessive over it and treats it like her dead husband. There's even an option to ask if it means all the time, and this is the response. Oh no. Can see why though, look at those fingers. It then asks me to destroy it because it thinks that its master will meet other people this way, and in typical Big Balls fashion, I agree, but only after telling it that I will tell its master that is still out here waiting to be found, and that she should keep looking. After getting a rather expected response, I dispose of it and continue on my way. I then stumble upon a dark, dingy cave. Holy fuck, I didn't know they had a Reddit convention in this game. Next, I put down the inhabitants who don't seem to have seen the light in years, destroying this hive, potentially dooming this entire ecosystem, all because I want the juicy crystals inside the eggs that will fetch a nice price on the black market. Once I return to the Jedi Enclave, I get scolded for killing the Jedi that was tainting the grove. And while I guess I didn't need to kill her, where's the fun in that? After getting some new drip and a brief history lesson, I'm forced to set off with Bastila for my final few missions, but before setting out I get scolded by another Jedi who was seemingly the girlfriend of the one I killed. I did not make the situation any better. For the final side mission of Dantooine, I am expected to solve the differences between 2 noble houses in the area. Meeting with the leader of House Matale, I'm told that their son and only heir, Shen, has gone missing, and that they believe that the Sandrils have something to do with it, as they recently found invading Sandril droids on their land. He believed the Sandrils kidnapped Shen in retaliation for the droids. Realizing he's getting nowhere, he offers me 1,000 credits for my services as a donation to the Enclave that I do not actually have to declare to them. I then tell them that with 2,000 he has a deal, which is quickly shot down with no help from Bastila.
Even if you would pay such a fee, what could you possibly need so many credits for?
I next head to the Sandril household where I'm not treated too kindly and asked to leave. Bastila then paraphrases a Joseph Goebbels quote, which seemingly doesn't help too much. I then get approached by a woman and just like any man with big balls, tells her to shut the fuck up. Unfortunately, this is a key character in the story ahead, and I need to listen to her plea. She admits to us that her father was the one that kidnapped Shen, as he believes the Matales kidnapped his son. I'm then given the key to the basement dungeon to free Shen, and then told that she loves Shen. I'm sure this information will not be misused at all. Our group proceeds to clear out the basement dungeon, robbing this place of absolutely everything while we do, until we find Shen's cell, where I am told that he isn't going to leave unless Rahaisha, the woman from earlier, comes with us. About to frankly lose my shit with how stubborn these people are, but given no other choice presented to me, I agree, and set out to make arrangements. She agrees, but when we leave, we are met with a bit of an issue, as both families meet to confront one another. I have the option to do the proper Jedi thing and mediate this, so that there is no violence. With no help from my choices at all, things soon seem to be calming down. This is where I hit them with a straight up lie and said that the Matales actually killed their son, which is the confrontation that started this all. This obviously went exactly how you'd expect it to go.
I never did anything to your son. I knew you were lying, you dog. And to think I thought it might not have been you. So I'll take your son from you.
Father, no! Don't do it!
Die! Shen! Die! No! Raisha! I'll kill you!
The Master has been injured. Terminate all opposition.
God, I fucking love this game. After that eventful day, I actually decide to finish the story for this planet by entering the sex chamber mentioned earlier. It is here where we meet an ominous droid who says that he speaks the languages of the slaves of the builders, which doesn't sound too good in this particular context. We are also informed of a place called the Star Forge, a super weapon that this droid apparently can guide us to, but only if we are proven worthy. I am then given a couple tasks to complete in these ruins, which I do with ease. After proving myself worthy, I find a star map that holds the coordinates to the Star Forge. However, it is incomplete, requiring me to go to 4 different planets to find the pieces of the puzzle. In our way back to the Enclave, we kill the rest of those Mandalorians mentioned before, make a few people not so happy, make another, probably die. It is here where Bastila disapproves of my actions, while Zalbar calls me dangerously unstable. Little does he know, to me, that is a compliment. I also begin to realize that I have developed some kind of skin disease, but I'm sure that that's no issue. I am then finally told by the Jedi Council that I am to seek out the clues to the Star Forge so that we can find it and protect the Republic from any danger it might pose. Little do they know that I have other plans. But more on that next time.